The first thing which my sister did when we came home was asking me if I can describe to her the trip just in 3 words. And I replied, oof, I don't know. But now I can say it was truly an experience. With a view on the massive Kurfürsten, we had a wonderful start and an extraordinary landscape which motivated us from day one. A few mountains further south, the mountains seem to be flattened a little bit. In comparison to the steep mountains at the beginning, everything looks even a little bit hilly. And the region of Obersachsen not just hosts a vast network of ski slopes, but also reminds me a little bit of the hilly mountains which can be found in the Black Forest. But then, ascending further up, the innocent picture of the hilly mountain area seems to change completely. Passing the tree line, the dense pine forest reveals steep cliffs which are catching the clouds on the way to pass the summit. The thick clouds feel like a cold and wet coat, but almost with the same speed the fog approached, it disappeared again, revealing the view on the next valley, which couldn't be more different to the previous. The small village of Rhin is in the mid of the Central Alps and only accessible by foot, street or helicopter. The old farmer houses had to be functional because building material is difficult to get in this area. However, it also has to protect the farmers and the cattle from the harsh winters. It is currently midsummer and the average temperature are the highest of the year. However, this night, even in thermo underwear, pullover and in my warm sleeping bag, it was freaking cold. The next morning, the first sun rays heat up the cold stone again and the dew starts to evaporize. The power of the sun brings back the energy and slowly you can realize again that it's still midsummer. Ahead of us, the Greiner, a massive high plateau on 2,300 meters, which was planned to be flooded in the 80s to create a big dam. However, today it is protected land and allows us to enter an area of pure, harsh beauty. Descending into the valley, let me notice some differences. The temperature in the night feels a little bit warmer. The sun stronger and even the vegetation seems to change. But also, no one is speaking German anymore. We entered the Italian part of Switzerland and surpassed the north-south axis of the Alps. Now, the weather is more affected by the Mediterranean side than the continental climate in the north. The Tessin has high mountains, reaching over 3,000 meters in altitude. However, descending and crossing the tree lines, pines and ferns in front of the turquoise blue lakes remind me almost on the steep hills of the Côte d'Azur in France. The next day, and with every step, the temperature and humidity let us forefeel what will be at the end of our journey. The last descent, the last mountain, the last lake.
So this is now our final summit on our journey. It doesn't feel like the final summit, to be honest. But this is now the Valle Maggia, which leads straight to the Lago Maggiore. So we will start our final descent now and we'll discover the Valle Maggia.
The Valle Maggia is roughly 50 kilometers long and mostly protected areas. The incredible stone houses, which are far off in the touristic routes, are picturesque and only accessible by foot. And now, the vegetation switches again. The pine forests dissolve and getting replaced by wild chestnut and hazelnut forests. All trails leading back to the Maggia, which milled itself into the massive stone of the Alps to create calm pools, to take a swim or just relax a few minutes the hot stone. And then, yeah, okay, just let me use a few video material I actually recorded.
So 2 days ago, we entered the Valle Maggia, which is actually quite famous for cliff diving, because the river which runs through the Valle Maggia is at some point quite deep, and the hills are quite steep, so you can jump into it, and the water is crystal clear. So I did the same, but while doing that, I inflamed my Achilles tendon, so I can't really walk right now, and everything hurts a little bit on the left side of my leg. But I took now the bus for around 10 kilometers to shorten a little bit the last stage of our trip, because in 6 kilometers from now on, exactly this happened. And hopefully I will have enough energy to jump down as well. But I actually have to first check if the height is still manageable. But let's see.
Small hint, if you are not used to jump multiple times, from 20 meters your butt cheeks can bruise a little bit, and even when you are under the water quite straight, they make you feel them every time you sit down, stand up, lay down, or even stand straight. So yeah, but anyways, so just a few meters further we could see Locarno for the first time. The desired end of our journey. It seemed short, but it was actually much longer than expected. But after another 2-hour walk, we crossed the city sign of Locarno and reached the Lago Maggiore. The last 2-hour walk was just to burn down our tires. We were completely sore. We did, for the first time, groceries again. For the first time, some vegetables. For the first time, butter again. For the first time, some juices. But, however, for this evening, our goal was beer and pasta. And then, my final thoughts, which I did record on site, which I'm happy to, because I couldn't re-feel the feelings I had at this moment, are now given on site.
So we finally arrived now in Locarno. The weather is pretty good. I went to the pharmacy today and I actually have a torn fiber. So it was super clever to jump from the 20 meters. But for the remaining week we still have, I can now put up my legs, relax a little bit and enjoy the view.